Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at a bunch of news stories, and I'm hyped this morning, ladies and gentlemen. News is good, life is good, fun things have been announced, and I, for one, am happy to have a nice little chat with you lovely ladies and gentlemen about it. But I want to start off this morning talking about, or this afternoon, really depends what time zone you're in, that's kind of the whole point. Talking about Sobble on the ball. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have been waiting for a while now to get that fourth and final on the ball promo card from Game. It has now been revealed. Now, I don't believe they've actually announced when it is going to be given out, but it's gone on their website. I'm expecting it to be this Friday. I don't know that it's this Friday, but I am feeling moderately confident it's this Friday. And it is the fourth and final on the ball card. Now, you might be going, well, hang on a second, Wassy. Fourth and final on the ball card. It's clearly number 5 out of 5. I'm not counting Pikachu on the ball. And it's not because I'm horrible or mean or I hate Pikachu. It's because Pikachu on the ball is not being given out as a promo in Game. It's only being sent out to futsal teams over in the UK. It's kind of like a mini football kind of thing. And to put it bluntly, it's going to be borderline impossible to get hold of. So, yeah. That's a little bit awkward, honestly. So there are 4 coming out in Game, and they're the 4 I'm largely focusing on. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Sobble on the ball has the best start of all of them. It also comes in with a yellow football shirt, which is an England goalie shirt. Again, I should make sure, these are England promos. They're not UK promos, they're England promos. And if anyone wants to get super mad, it is literally a partnership between the English Football Association and Pokémon. They're wearing England football kits. That's why it's an England-only promo, although I completely understand that people in Wales and Scotland and Northern Ireland aren't terribly happy about it, and I apologise, but it's the way it is. Now, as a card, it's rubbish. 2 energy, 20 damage. I do love Spectacular Save, 1 energy. Flip a coin if heads during your opponent's next turn. Prevent all effective attacks, including damage, done to this Pokemon. And if you flip enough heads, you will, win every game with Sobble on the ball when your opponent decks out. But realistically, it's kind of bad. And do remember that it's Sobble on the ball. And Drizzile and Inteleon don't evolve from Sobble on the ball. They evolve from Sobble. So you can't even use this as a basic in all those fancy Inteleon decks that are so popular nowadays. So it really is a case of, it is a one-off card that basically exists on its own, and it's not particularly good, but it is awesome. And now we're going to have all 4 of the Game promos, and that is fantastic. And these are really cool promos that I really do think in a few years, these are going to be remembered as some of the coolest, weirdest promos we ever got. Although these promos have come back to bite me ever so slightly, because a lot of people do me a lot of favors, and many of them then get in touch being like, hey, England exclusive promos, eh? So I've got my list of people I need to pick them up for. Don't worry, I am on it. So Sobble on the ball is coming. That's pretty good news. You know what else is pretty good news? That really awesome Pikachu and Zekrom box, which I told you about the other day, is coming to GameStop in Canada and is coming out as a GameStop exclusive. Now, it is retailing for $70. But remember, I'm talking about GameStop in Canada, so obviously we're talking about Canadian dollars here. We are not actually talking about US dollars. So if we take 70 Canadian dollars and we put it into US dollars, we end up at around about $55. And remember, you get 10 booster packs. You get the gold Pikachu and Zekrom and the jumbo gold Pikachu and Zekrom. I told you this was unlikely to remain as an Australian exclusive when I told you about this one the other day. So it's now been confirmed for Canada. Like I say, GameStop exclusive. You should expect this to end up in the US as well. Again, I have no information. I'm not one to tell you it's happening. I do try and make clear what is a prediction and what is not. I feel very, very confident that it is coming and will be over in the US, but as it stands at the moment, there is no confirmation at all. You have been warned. Confident, unconfirmed. As for the Reshiram and Charizard box, again, I have no actual news, but I think it's pretty likely it will. It seems weird to print two of these, which are very much the same kind of boxes, and then release one in Australia and bring it over to North America, and leave the other one as an Australian exclusive. Could happen, but I find it highly, highly unlikely. Incidentally, remember there were a bunch of gold tag teams that were released over in Japan that we never got. And we got these two boxes revealed very, very close to each other, and then nothing for a while. It's been a little while now. We still don't have anything, so it's one of those at the moment where we have to kind of wait and see. We don't know is the honest answer. So I would have thought if more were coming soon, we would have seen them around about the time the others got revealed. So my prediction at the moment essentially is that yes, this one will come to the US. Yes, the other one will come to the US and Canada. And no, at the moment, we shouldn't expect any others to be coming in the short term, but that could, of course, all change over time. As always, I'm going to be tracking this stuff, and by this stuff, I mean literally everything to do with the Pokémon TCG, extremely closely. So, as soon as there is any kind of news whatsoever, I shall bring it to you, lovely ladies and gentlemen. But those are not the only two bits of really good news we've got to talk about today. There is a third piece of really good news. You see, ladies and gentlemen, we've had a couple new cards confirmed for celebrations, and these are ones I think are worth getting pretty gosh darned excited about. Now, for a little bit of context here, Pokemon have gone and released a promotional video for celebrations, and it's a really cool video. I will link it in the description so you can go and watch it. But it's basically a video celebrating the Pokemon trading card game, and lots and lots of card images, evoking lots and lots of nostalgia from nerds like me. But there were a couple of points in the video, and obviously I watched it and kind of flicked through pretty much frame by frame, looking for new stuff, and there were a couple of new cards in the video we hadn't yet seen. So at one point there is a lovely scene of a couple of people playing a lovely game, and if you look at the top of the discard pile of the player at the top, what's that, ladies and gentlemen? It is a full art Professor's Research Professor Oak. Now, we knew that Professor's Research Oak was coming. That was revealed officially. And incidentally, Imposter Professor Oak is coming as one of the 25 old classic special cards, call them what you will. So that was already confirmed. We knew it was coming. But now we have official confirmation on an official Pokemon video that shows us that Professor's Research Professor Oak is getting a full art version of the card, which is awesome. Now remember, this is just Professor's Research, which is to say you discard your hand and draw 7 cards. We've already seen it with Professor Magnolia, and we've already seen it with Professor Juniper, and incidentally, my preferred one is with Professor Juniper. Now we see it with Professor Oak as well. So it's not a card we desperately need. Incidentally, worth pointing out that the regulation mark is still regulation mark D, so it's not one whereby, well, it's a newer version and it will keep the card in the format longer. It won't keep the card in the format longer because it has the same regulation mark as the other ones we've seen. But it is now getting an absolutely stunning, beautiful alternate art, or full art really I should call it. So if that's what you're into, that's pretty cool. And then the video carries on and there's no more new stuff, and then at the end there's a lovely little border of cards and it says, we make the cards, you made the memories, and it's all lovely. And then obviously you pause it and you look around, you're like, hang on a second, that's new. Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the border, you will notice that is clearly one of the 25th anniversary collection cards, one of the special sets, and it's a fire type. And it's got Flame Ball, and if you go to a site like PKMN Cards with that kind of information, it takes very little time whatsoever to discover that it is Gardevoir EX Delta. It's a fire-type Gardevoir. Now remember, Delta cards were around a little while ago. It was a cool little gimmick, mechanic, call it what you will, where Pokemon had different typings. So Gardevoir EX Delta was a fire-type, and it was actually a really cool card. If it was active, you could put an Imprison marker on one of your opponent's Pokemon, and then that basically turned off their Poke Powers and Poke Bodies. So it was a form of ability lock, or Poke Powers and Poke Bodies, what they were called back then. It was a form of ability lock, but you would pick individual Pokemon to turn off their abilities. And then fire, double colorless, 80 damage. You could move a fire from Gardevoir EX to one of your bench. Not quite so important, if I'm honest with ya. But Imprison as a Poke Power did see a bunch of play. Gardevoir back in the day was a really good Pokemon that had a bunch of really good cards. And this is one that was popped into Gardevoir decks to give you that ability lock. I don't know if it's quite as iconic as, you know, the other EX card which has been confirmed for this mini set is Team Magma's Groudon. And bearing in mind that absolutely crushed the first ever World Championships, that is a fantastically iconic card. I don't think Gardevoir fits into that same level of iconic card. However, it's a very cool card. Players that were around at the time will remember it very fondly, and it's Gardevoir, who everybody loves. So I think it's a pretty good inclusion. Again, I don't think it is quite as classic as some of the other cards that they're doing in this style, but it's still a very cool card. Weird to reveal it just in the border of the final splash screen of a promotional video. Not generally how these cards are revealed, but I don't particularly care, ladies and gentlemen, because it has been revealed, and that makes me pretty gosh darn happy indeed. And frankly, right, we've got the Final on the Ball promo finally coming. That amazing product that we were worried was going to be Australian exclusive coming to the US. And now we also get to add in these new cards that we've not seen before that are coming in celebrations. I mean, this is pretty gosh darned awesome, ladies and gentlemen. This is pretty gosh darned awesome. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.